Have you ever wanted to drink your probiotics instead of popping them like pills? Well, let me introduce you to Milk Kefir, your gut's new best friend. These little guys, they're the magic makers. Kefir grains, bacteria and yeast working together like an unstoppable fermentation duo. Making milk kefir is so simple, it almost feels like you're cheating. Here's what you need. Fresh milk. Whole milk works best for a creamy texture. Don't use ultra pasteurized milk. That type of milk has been heat treated to the point where most of the beneficial bacteria are gone. Kefir grains struggle to thrive in it, leading to a weak or failed fermentation. Here I've got Kelowna Supernatural Organic Cream Top Whole Milk. We're not gonna be using all of this, but I've got a 2.5-year-old that I think is really gonna love this stuff. And personally, I've been known to down some dairy myself, so I'm gonna enjoy this as well. Next up, kefir grains. This is just a Coolinario Kefir Starter Culture. I got this off of Amazon, link in the description below. A glass jar, and no, plastic won't cut it. Also, don't use metal utensils. While brief contact with metal isn't usually harmful, kefir grains can be sensitive to prolonged exposure to reactive metals like aluminum. Safer bets, use glass. Make sure you have a clean workspace. It's a good idea to wash your countertops and your jar before getting started on this. Kefir is pretty hardy and resistant to contamination, but it's just good practice to take care of these grains by reducing the risk for contamination.
You always got to be thinking cleanliness when it comes to fermentation. We're going to wash our jar with non-antibacterial soap and hot water. I'm using Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day soap. We've got a 32-ounce jar. 1 sachet of this particular brand of kefir starter culture will make 1 quart of kefir. So we got to grab a kitchen scale so that we can get 32 ounces of milk to start with. Now we're done with the scale.
Now all we got to do is take this quart of milk and put it over on the stove top. Heat it on medium heat, stirring constantly up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's at 180 degrees, then we got to take it off of the heat and let it cool down to 77 degrees. Once it's at 77 degrees, then we mix 1 sachet of this kefir starter in with the milk. We're going to then pour it back into the jar. Making milk kefir is an art. You need patience, precision, and a little microbial magic. But the secret weapon? The ThermoPro Lightning. This little powerhouse gives you an ultra-fast, accurate temperature readout in just 1 second. No waiting, no guessing. And when you're fermenting dairy, knowing the exact temp is the difference between creamy perfection and a science experiment gone wrong. See? 1 second read time, accurate to the decimal. You want your milk just warm enough to wake up the kefir cultures, but not too hot to send them to an early retirement. With the ThermoPro Lightning, you know your ferment is thriving. Whether it's kefir, kombucha, or sourdough, precision is everything. And this thing delivers. Perfect fermentation every time. Thanks to the ThermoPro Lightning, no more temperature guesswork, just creamy, probiotic-packed success. Milk kefir mastery unlocked. Now, let's drink to microbial magic.
So I was gonna use a cloth, but the instructions for this culture say to use an airtight container. So we're gonna put a lid on it. I think maybe just to give it a little bit of extra fizziness. I don't know, I've never had kefir that was fizzy, but I've done some research and I found that that's actually a thing. So we're gonna try this and I'll let you know how it turns out.
So I actually ended up letting this go about 36 hours. I think it's gonna be just fine. So then now all we're gonna do is just strain this into a new jar and it's ready to drink.
I picked up some kefir strainers on Amazon, link in the description below. I decided to start with the smallest one just straight into the jar. This kefir is pretty thick, however, and I had to come up with a better solution as this was gonna take forever.
This is going very slowly. It's gonna take a minute. I think what I'm gonna do is get a bigger strainer, put this into a bigger container, and then I'll just dump that big container into the jar.
Fortunately, this bigger strainer fits my Pyrex bowl pretty perfectly, and given the fact that there's more surface area of strainer, the kefir comes through a lot quicker. I think I'll probably just stick with this bigger one for future kefir batches. I would encourage you guys to do it this way that I'm showing you here. Another thing I like to do is use a rubber spatula to mix that kefir around so you get all of it strained through faster. Otherwise, it could gum up the mesh and the kefir liquid you want would just sit on top and not strain through. Once you get all that delicious kefir liquid strained, dump it back into a clean jar. I'm gonna grab a glass and get into this now. I will say this is best served cold, so you can totally drink it now, but if you want it at its best, it's not a bad idea to throw it in the fridge for a few hours before pouring.
And there you have it, folks. Tangy, probiotic-packed goodness. You can drink this straight, you can blend it in with a smoothie, you can even turn it into a salad dressing. Possibilities are endless.
Right, so it's for sure creamy, tangy, and a little bit of fizz that I wasn't expecting, but it does add a nice effervescent quality to this drink.
Yeah, so as you guys can tell from this video, I kind of had to make some adjustments as I went, but in the end, it ends up working out. That's the thing about this channel, guys. I'm not going to put in swaps. I'm not going to cut out certain parts of the video just because it doesn't work out like it should. I want to show you guys everything, the ins and outs. At the end of the day, fermentation isn't scary, especially when the hardest part is literally waiting. And ultimately, the hard work pays off for your taste buds and for your health. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more fermented goodness, and also drop a comment below if you guys want to see some more kefir experiments. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.